Welcome to my training vlog. Alright, so after Masters Nationals, I'm not gonna lie, I was pretty disappointed with how it went. You can check that out in the previous vlog. But I'm glad it happened because I was able to learn a lot about myself, about the way I train, about how I compete, and how I adjust to different things. So I'm glad it happened because if that didn't happen, I wouldn't be able to learn and grow for myself. So what's next for me? So this fall and winter, I actually had two meets that I wanted to swim at. The Kevin Perry Invitational in November and winter sectionals in December. However, over the summer, Kevin Perry filled up, so I can't swim in that anymore. And then winter sectionals, I'm actually gonna be in Qatar for my friend's wedding. So with those two meets out, I pretty much have no swim meets to focus on this winter. There is one small goal that I don't know if I'm gonna do, but the SPMS Championship meet, which is like a Southern California Masters Championship meet. It's short course meters. I might be doing the 4x100 freestyle relay. There's a national record for the age group of 25 to 29. You have to average 51.1. At the moment, I have myself, Coach Sean, my friend Pat, who I swam with and roomed with at Arizona State, and we're trying to find a fourth person right now. If we can find a fourth person and we can try to average 51.1, so still trying to figure that out, but if we can get that going, I'll probably be training for that as my main meet. So what I got planned this upcoming winter and fall is I'm gonna be training Olympic weightlifting. So that's gonna be my new focus just for these next 3 months. And hopefully I'll be entering in my first Olympic weightlifting competition, which I'm currently looking for. But because I'll be semi-training for swimming and then doing Olympic lifting, training is gonna be a little bit interesting. So I'm gonna kind of experiment on myself. Everything is gonna revolve around Olympic weightlifting, but my mobility, some accessory work, I'm gonna add some swim stuff in there. So for example, I'll still be including movements like chin-ups, which are beneficial for swimming, maybe not for Olympic weightlifting. I'll still be attacking my low-hanging fruit. And as always, I'm gonna be training Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu on the side as a hobby. So for today's vlog, it's gonna be kind of the hybrid that I talked about, Olympic weightlifting and swimming. And yeah, let's get after the lift today. It'll be a fun one. Looking forward to these next 3 months. As always, got tier stuff on. I got the tier L1 for my Olympic lifting. You can go to teams.tier.com, use the code that I'll be posting up right here, and you get discount on pretty much everything, 25% off all products. Really love lifting in these. These pretty much changed the way I lift. Got the higher heel to help you on catch and cleans and snatches, helps you on squats. Overall great shoes for lifting. Very comfortable too, and they look pretty cool. All right, my first exercise that I'm gonna do today, if you watched our previous video, I include T-spine mobility, and I had access to a wall, which gave me a pretty easy way to do some T-spine mobility. But because I don't have anything today, it's just open space, I have this one band. This is what I'm gonna do for my T-spine mobility. So T-spine mobility is very important, as we explained in the last video too. Typically for sprint freestylers, when you do sprint freestyle, your upper body is rotating, but your hips are generally pretty still, like Caleb Dressel is in this video right here. So in order to be great at sprint freestyling, you want to have the ability to rotate your upper body like this without moving your hips too much. So that's something that I lack, so I'm attacking my low-hanging fruit. We get this band underneath my leg, be in this position right here. I'm just gonna pull, rotate, and then come back down. All right, and then the next exercise that I got, now we're gonna be working on some T-spine extension. That's the ability to extend your spine. In the last video, if you saw, I had access to a barbell and a rack, which I technically still do, but I'm gonna show a different one today. And if you just have like a foam roller and something to put your legs on. So it's very important that you get your legs on top so that your hips are in flexion. That way, when you do go into T-spine extension, your lumbar spine is not also extending. You actually want your lumbar spine to be stable, thoracic spine to be able to be mobile. So if you don't have it on a bench and you just have it on the ground and you're going into T-spine extension, notice that my lumbar spine is also extending. You actually want that to be stable. So being able to be in hip flexion allows you to have a more stable lumbar spine, which is why I recommend having your legs raised and having your hip in flexion. So from here, all you're gonna do, keep that lumbar spine stable, and then put it on your upper spine, and then just kind of extend that thoracic spine and lean back. Just hang out in this position for about 30 seconds to a minute. You'll feel a good stretch in the pecs as well. For swimming, it's gonna help get into positions necessary for good butterfly catch. All right, this next one, back to wall shoulder flexion plus iso. We went over this in the last video too, so you can check out our explanation in the last video, but just a very brief summary if you didn't watch the last video. Back to wall shoulder flexion, I like this exercise to help me get into shoulder flexion, the ability to have your arms overhead like this. This is just gonna help you both in swimming and Olympic lifting. You're gonna be able to have a hold weight above your head, and then you're also gonna be able to get into better streamline, which is gonna help your underwaters. So for the full breakdown, go ahead and watch our previous video, but I'm including this for my warm-up today as well. Last thing that I have, this is an exercise. Again, if you're pretty limited on equipment and space, you can use this exercise for external rotation, kind of warming up the rotator cuff. Ever since I started Olympic lifting last week, I don't have any pain or anything, but I just have a little bit of discomfort in my rotator cuff when I'm pressing up. So to help me get warmed up to feel less uncomfortable when I'm pressing, I like to do prone external rotation liftoffs at 90 degrees. You're gonna be in a prone position, and then you're gonna have your arms at 90 degrees. And then from here, you're gonna lift up, hold, and then back down. If it's pretty hard for you, you can get this underneath your elbow, and then it'll help you get into better external rotation easily. And then if it's pretty easy for you without anything, if this is kind of easy, then you can get your fist under a ball, and it'll help you get some extra external rotation in. And then one mistake a lot of people do is when they lift up, they like to come in like this. You want to make sure that you're maintaining that 90 degrees so that you're not pulling inwards like this. Just gonna go up and back down. So that's my general ability warm-up that I have today, kind of helping me both in Olympic lifting and swimming. So now for today's lifts, my main lifts are gonna be, I got 5x3 hang snatch. My third set's gonna be my heavy triple, and then 5x3 hang clean plus jerk. My third set is gonna be a heavy triple. So that's what I got for my main set today. We're gonna get after it, and then hopefully have some good lifts in today. I just got done with the snatches. It's a lot more cardio based than you might think. It's all explosive, but it's very taxing on the CNS, which is also something I gotta get used to. I got hang cleans now. I'm going 3 reps of hang cleans and then 1 jerk right after that. So same thing as the snatches, 2x3 to warm up, 1 heavy triple, and then the last 2 sets are minus 10%, roughly minus 10% of what I did for my heavy triple. And then after that, I got some basic accessory and I'm done, but almost there. I think I messed up my percentages a little bit. That was my second set at 145. Yeah, 145. It was a lot harder than I thought. I think I'm just kind of gassed right now. So my heavy triple is gonna be 155, but I feel like I should be able to do a little bit more. Probably closer to like 165, 175. But I'm not trying to risk injury, so this is gonna be my heavy triple for today. My Olympic weightlifting accessory today is a snatch deadlift. I'm just going 3x5, nothing crazy, somewhere around an RP 6, just to work on keeping my hips back. And then that's going to be paired with GHD plate torso rotation. That I added as like an accessory to swim. It's good to have some rotational core power or core strength. But core strength is good for anything. So as you can see, it's a very short lift, but because it's so CNS fatiguing, I'm only basically doing 4 exercises, which 2 of them were hang cleans and hang snatches. So I'm absolutely gassed right now, but just got to push through and then we'll be done for today. All right, so that's the end of today's workout. I have a little bit of rotator cuff, not pain, but a little bit of probably instability, weakness. It feels a little bit uncomfortable. So at the end, I'm just throwing in some external rotation, some rotator cuff strength. I'm using a band here to strengthen my rotator cuff. So hopefully that should help me with a little bit of my weakness when I'm overhead. Thank you guys for watching today's vlog. I'll continue to upload a little bit more Olympic weightlifting and swim training. Stay tuned for the next vlog. And that's it for today.